This is a story from the classic ancient Indian collection of fables, and it's the story of a clever jackal and a strange drum that fooled him. It's called The Jackal and the Drum. Once upon a time, in a lush green forest filled with all kinds of animals, there lived a jackal. This jackal wasn't like the others. He was incredibly smart, and all the animals knew him as a clever fellow, but they also knew him as a hungry fellow because he spent all his time looking for food. They often teased him, saying, "Hey, Mr. Clever, why don't you use your brains to find something to eat?" One day, driven by hunger and exhaustion, the jackal left the familiar parts of the forest and ventured into an area he didn't know very well. Suddenly, he found himself in a large open space. The trees here were older and much taller, and the underbrush was thick and dark. As the jackal moved forward, he heard a strange sound, a deep, hollow thud. He stopped in his tracks. What could it be? He wondered. He listened intently. The sound seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere. It was low and mysterious, like the rumble of a giant beast. Then he saw it, or rather he saw it. Half hidden amidst the tall grasses and creepers, there was a massive drum lying on the ground. It was so big that the jackal, standing in front of it, looked tiny. The drum was made of thick wooden planks, and its surface was stretched tight with animal hide. It looked ancient, like something from a forgotten war. As the jackal stared, a sudden gust of wind blew across the clearing, and the drum boomed again. This time, the sound was louder and deeper, like the heartbeat of the forest itself. The jackal jumped back, startled. He had not expected the drum to make such a loud noise. He paced slowly around the drum, keeping a safe distance. Each time the wind hit the drum, it made that deep sound. The jackal's heart pounded in his chest. What if that noise came from a ferocious tiger hiding inside the drum? Or maybe a hungry lion, waiting to pounce? Fear tightened his throat. The sun began to set, casting long shadows on the ground. The jackal stood there, torn between his fear and his hunger. He needed food, but the thought of that lurking danger was terrifying. Just then, another gust of wind blew, and the drum rumbled again. As the sound echoed through the trees, the jackal noticed something. A long, thin branch from a nearby tree was swaying in the wind. It was hitting the drum and making it sound. The drum was not alive, nor did it hold any ferocious beasts. It was just a hollow drum, making noise in the wind. Relief washed over the jackal. He realized how silly he had been to be afraid of an inanimate object. With a sheepish smile, he walked closer to the drum and nudged it with his paw. The drum made a playful thump sound, and the jackal chuckled. From that day on, whenever the jackal passed that part of the forest, he would stop by the old drum. It became a part of his daily routine. Not only did he find amusement in its sound, but he also used it as a reminder of his own cleverness. After all, he was the only one in the forest who knew the secret of the talking drum, and that made him feel pretty special. And so, friends, the story of Chandrak, the jackal, and the drum reminds us that sometimes our fears can get the best of us. But with a little bit of courage and a lot of common sense, we can turn our fears into laughter. Just like Chandrak, when we take the time to understand what's really going on, we'll find that most of our worries are just figments of our imagination. Now, before we go, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever been scared of something that turned out to be harmless? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. We'd love to hear your stories. That's all for today, my dear listeners. If you enjoyed this fable and want to hear more, please give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel and share these stories with your friends and family. We'll see you next time with another wonderful story. Until then, stay curious and keep exploring the world around you. Who knows, you might just discover something that makes you laugh instead of cry.